Hello, I'm John Beckord of Forward Janesville. My guest today is James Otterstein from the Rock County Economic Development Agency. Welcome, James. I'd like to talk about shovel-ready certified site designation. I understand that designation of sites is an important part of our toolbox. It distinguishes us. It gives us a competitive advantage. But I've learned in conversations with a lot of people there's a lot of misunderstanding or lack of understanding about what it really means. So perhaps you could frame the issue by describing what a certified shovel-ready site is and why it's important.
A certified shovel-ready site essentially represents a piece of property that's been validated and certified by an independent third party. And essentially what it does is it basically goes through a very detailed analysis. Roughly about 200 different variables are addressed in it, and there's 6 main topical areas. And it basically vets that information out, verifies that it's actually accurate, and then it makes sure it actually complies and syncs with local zoning codes and land use plans, transportation, utility, infrastructure, you name it. It basically removes all of the guesswork out of the equation. And more importantly, what it does is it validates the fact that there has been significant amount of due diligence already conducted on the site, from environmental to soil borings to archaeological, you name it, it's been done.
And for prospective investors, companies, individuals, what's the advantage to them?
It essentially gives them the comfort level that they need with that particular piece of property, that A, the guesswork has already been taken out of the equation, B, the barriers have already been addressed and or removed, C, all the documentation is housed in one location, and last but not least, it provides an opportunity to accelerate the construction and development process. So it truly does create a speed to market advantage out there.
Right, so if I'm a company, I've got a new big contract, I need more capacity. I want to find a place that I can quickly respond to that new demand for my product. What sort of timetable can we as Rock County, with the certified sites that we have, present to that company? What kind of time frame can we give them?
30 days or less, because there's been anywhere from 6 to 8 months of due diligence already removed out of the process. So essentially that end user or the investor representing that end user could literally walk into the City Hall at Beloit, Janesville, or Edgerton, literally close on that property within 30 days, have financing within 30 days, and more importantly have permits in hand within 30 days.
So this is compared to what might be typical elsewhere.
Well, generally speaking, you could run into a 120-day process or longer just to accomplish those 3 main areas that I referenced in terms of site control, in terms of permitting, and then in terms of financing. Again, ours can be done within 30 days or less.
Right. And in this environment where companies often have to move fast, or they want to move fast, this clearly is a competitive advantage for the sites in Rock County that are certified.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And now there are sites, a site in Janesville, a site in Beloit, and you mentioned Edgerton. Maybe you could talk about that.
Correct. The site in Edgerton roughly represents about 42 acres, and then there's another 50-acre additional expansion parcel that is part of the certification process. City of Janesville has a 224-acre parcel that was certified, and then the City of Beloit has a 229-acre parcel that was certified. So the combination of those 3 sites, which all have interstate visibility, some have immediate interstate access, others are within a mile to a mile and a half, they really create some competitive advantage in terms of having all of that documentation validated and verified by an independent third party. And quite honestly, we were real strategic with the firm that we utilized to do our certification. We basically searched around the U.S. and found anywhere from a dozen to a half dozen firms that kind of fit that profile, and we put them through their respective paces and ended up settling upon the team that goes by the nomenclature of 80 Austin. And they represent 80 International Company, which is based out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, and then Austin Consulting, which is based in Cleveland, Ohio. Both of those firms have a very well recognized brand name out in the industry. They've done a lot of large projects throughout the U.S. and even some in the extended region around here. And last but not least, we've got existing relationships with those particular firms based on past projects that they've been assigned to and have been working on.
When we look around the state of Wisconsin, how do we rank with other communities as it relates to these kinds of sites?
As of to date, we are the only certified shovel-ready sites in the state of Wisconsin. So we have 3 of the only ones in Wisconsin that have been recognized as that. Now the state is launching their statewide certified site program, and we eventually will have those 3 sites included within that certification. Those results from that particular process are probably going to be late October to early November timeframe, and so we'll have a dual certification out there. One will be on our own, which carries a significant amount of weight, and then the other will be associated with the state's Ready, Set, Build program, which again creates some additional mileage, some additional exposure, and some additional name recognition out there.
But we do have a window between the time our certifications have been completed to when anybody else is in this particular certification protocol, where we're the only ones in the state.
That is correct, and assuming that things proceed as planned, the City of Milton should be wrapping up their site certification process either on or before the state makes their announcements. So we will have 4 of the only recognized certified sites in the state.
Right. I think we should mention also that this is a program of the Rock County 5.0 strategy. It's one of many things that Rock County 5.0 is involved in, and we'll have additional programs about some of those other projects and strategies in the future. Thanks for joining us, and tune in often. Thanks.